Hello, my name's Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man. And today I'm going to be talking to you all about God being fully unpredictable. This is not something I normally talk about because I have a very simple life. I do very well and I help people all the time, but even with someone with a simple life, there's always happy, beautiful surprises or surprises as to where I have to help someone get rid of enemies. So let's just say, and this is something Jesus asked me to make, because I came to a conclusion. I said to Jesus, you're completely unpredictable. And he's like, that's how I like it. That's how I wanted it to be, or desire it to be. He didn't say want. He said, that's how. He said it in much longer response, but it was not a simple conversation. I'm just like, hey, you can be completely unpredictable. And he said, Jesus basically told me, do you want me to be a predictable God? Do you want me to you want everything to be predictable? And I'm like, yeah, kinda. And then he said that's not how it works. That's not what deeds. If you were able to predict stuff, he'd prepare for it. He lets you know stuff, but then a whole bunch of it's a mystery because this world's like a TV show. This is like a giant TV show. It's kind of ridiculous. So God puts his energy, facets. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit puts their facets of energy into every animal. One of them being a cat. Cats are completely unpredictable, but they're full of love. Most people's cats. But in a different way. But basically a cat, 1 second can do this, the next second is like that, because there's different things on the cat's mind. God has a higher mind than anyone else. So, because human patterns are to try to predict things. So bing, A, B, C, D, E. And this predictability or unpredictability, it works out in your favor, or it doesn't. It really doesn't. So you want it to work out in your favor, regardless, it works out in your favor. So the next part of this video is, and yes, this is a very awkward message for me to teach because I'm like, I have to teach about how God's unpredictable. Look at the Bible. Read the Bible. He's unpredictable all throughout the Bible. He makes promises, and let's just say the only thing that are predictable, it's still unpredictable. His promises are unpredictable. He'll tell you exactly when something will happen, but it will still be unpredictable. It's because that's the nature of God. If you're to throw a if you are to throw a surprise party for someone, and they know all about the surprise. They don't, you wanna know how a surprise party works? I threw a surprise party for my grandma. A long time ago. Grandma. I call her something else, and everyone went missing for, I think, a day or 2 days. All the family members went missing. And she was kind of like irritated. She's like, where'd everyone go? We're supposed to be doing stuff. It's like, everyone's in town and like no one's around. And she's kind of like a little bit annoyed. She's like, what's going on? It's like everyone just kind of disappeared. It's like, okay, whatever. So we had my my cousin take her out, and then she came home for the surprise party, and trying to remember if I ruined the surprise or not, because I ruined the surprise. Story went into the dump because that was a while ago. I basically, because she was older, I didn't want her having a heart attack. So I'm like, they're gonna surprise you when you walk in the door. I'm like, she's like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, huh is right, because you don't be surprised and like, surprise and like, no, we're not doing that. So I warned her. Okay, so basically everything was a surprise until the very last moment. So that's actually how God works as well. So thank you for reminding me of the details of that story. Yes, Keith the Stone Man ruined the surprise party, but saved her life. Cool. The details of that, basically, and how they correlate to God working. God will throw some crazy stuff at you as trials, as tribulations. But tests on top of tests on top of tests, and they can go on for 3 weeks of just pure hell. And let's just say you didn't do anything wrong, you don't deserve it. Your life's not even that, let's just say your life is not even that interesting, or there's nothing to go to hell, for anything to go to hell too, and like anything will just happen out of thin air, and you're like, okay. But when you just like, because there's a season for everything. Look at God with Pharaoh in the Bible, and God with Joseph. He's like, okay, there's a season of nothing but abundance, just all this grains of harvest is coming. So look how this is the thing in real life too. So real life, this is real life in real time, I mean. So this is the thing in real time versus biblical time. So you want to know how people do very well and how people don't do very well? It's because, let me use their language. You have these people who will get paid. Like, for example, people back then, like the people who got the Green Adventure, they know who they are. They're busy. Some people know who they are. Some of the people who have actually won Mega Millions by using their Green Adventure lottery cuff and actually posting it. I want to say who it is, but let's just say that person's popular now, but they're still humble. I don't want to say who it is. It's not fair. I always ask his permission. And let's just say it surprised him and he gave the thanks to God. But he's not someone who ran off with it and went crazy. So God will surprise someone with abundance when they're ready for it. Because he was ready for it, he saved, and he held on to it. He didn't hold on to it like greedy, but he secured it. This is just one of many lottery winners. One. Because it's a lot easier to win a lottery than you realize. I had picture testimonies that I used to show people, but I don't need those people getting DMs like they were. Like, people were DMing my lottery winners. Give me money. And they say, Dr. Stone Man, Mr. Stone Man, you have people DMing me. So no more of that. They're saying, give me money. They're trying to find out where I live. It's like, okay, that's enough. They're actually coming to my home. Enough. So my story to that point is, God will surprise you with a win, but that person was able to hold a win. They held it down. So there's some people God will surprise, and then they'll just take it. They'll lose it all. They'll lose it all. So what's the point of that story? It's because God will surprise you with small things before you actually get to the big ones. So let's just say, and this is the thing with people. People don't know how to save money, or people don't know how to use their money correctly. If you save your money to the point where you're strangling it and you're holding on to the energy, then it hurts the money. Let's just say you have large amounts of money, but you're buying things such as let's just say food, clothing, gemstones, and it's benefiting you and that's making you grow, versus you're buying stuff you don't need, like extra cars. Extra cars. Well, my Rolls Royce needed a friend. I call him Timmy. But that's just an example, because it's not abundant to squeeze and hold on to money. So God will surprise you with situations to make you more dynamic. So God will be completely unpredictable and it'll be the most subtle ways in your life. So he'll be unpredictable in the softest ways, like boom, just out of nowhere. It's like boom, and then let's just say, for a lot of people, it's just random chaos. And then when a bunch of crazy stuff happens to you and you trust God to protect you from it, he was protecting you from a bigger situation, and he's keeping that away. He's keeping something bigger away by using a smaller situation. I'll give you an example. I don't like this example, but if I take my hand, and I always think about elbow room all the way down the beach. If you knew a rock was going to fall on someone's head, and you walked up to them and you told them move, like, no, this is the best spot, and I've been waiting for this spot, this is the best table. And I take my right hand and I slap them across the face. They don't like that, so let's just say they get out of their chair and they're yelling and screaming, and then the rock falls, but they're still yelling. Or let's just say they yell and scream, they go home, and they're all upset. And then later on in the news, that rock falls. Just like my phone, I move like, I knew it was going to happen. My leg was going, I was trying to swap my leg. Yeah, that always happens, but I'm getting comfortable here. you see me doing videos and I'm feeling good, so I'm gonna make myself feel good. I'm not even laying back, I'm just like this doing the videos, but the point is, God's completely unpredictable. So, I'll give you some other examples. Here's another set of unpredictability. What happens sometimes is, when you hear God, he'll tell you what your exact soulmate looks like, acts like, etc. And he'll send a fake one looking exactly like them. And if you accept, you fail the challenge. If you deny them, you pass the challenge. Most people fail at that point. So it's just, he can be minorly unpredictable. What if you're in the wrong and you're unpredictable? Want to talk about that? There's a prophecy. The prophecy of June's coming soon. Can I tell you guys something? The prophecy of the billionaires in this country. They're gonna be let's just say when God shows up, he's gonna make them very scared. They're all going to try to hide, and they'll all backstab each other, and they'll sell their companies, they'll move, they'll try to change their identity, they'll try to hide out, and nothing works. Let's just say the money that belongs to people of God will go directly back to God. And it's before Judgment Day that happens. Which is Judgment Day is very soon. It's an ugly set of events. So let's just say these people, for example, and I know people, for example, they'll be living a lavish life. Because I live in Florida, and I'm always around the nice parts of Florida. These people will live a lavish life and have done something really bad a long time ago, but they're just living their best life. That's people like, ooh, I didn't see my enemy get their karma. And this person's just like, they have the best life in the world. And all they know is a good life. And then they're walking down the street and someone's doing a lawnmower and a penny goes into it, straight in the eye, into the brain. Now the person's half paralyzed. You think that doesn't happen? It actually does happen. It does. Why do you think God lets lawnmowers stay around? Because there's things more upgraded than the design of lawnmowers that we have on planet Earth. So that's the thing. It only takes 1 second. It only takes 1 second. Let me give it another example. I remember someone cut me off in traffic. Oh, this is a crazy story. I can go down a whole bunch of stories. And I was angry. At the time, I was angry because I didn't learn how to master my anger yet. And I was just frustrated. I was mad. I'm like, but I did release it. I'm like, I can't do anything about it. They've driven so past Frasmaskis me, and it's missed. They went fast. And I couldn't catch up to them, and they just wronged me. They almost clipped me, and I was just like, they did that for no reason. They just completely wronged me. They had to slow down because there was a guy in front of them. A mattress slid out from the middle of the car, and their car devoured the mattress, and it got stuck on the engine. Car gone. And I saw it, and I heard it, and I'm like, ooh, you want some pillows for that mattress? You want me to give you some bed sheets for that mattress? But I was at first, I mean, I was kind of, it freaked me out because it was so close to me when it happened. I didn't think, I mean, it was just wild. But God's unpredictable. So people think that's instant karma is predictable. It's not predictable. So, and the last set of unpredictability, like that slap example from earlier, sometimes it will feel like God goes slap in people's faces. And they've been good. They didn't do anything wrong. It's to get you to get away from wherever you're at because you were comfortable. So it may feel like God goes out of nowhere. And then you get mad. You're like, what the? I trust you. And you still trust him, but let's just say you're supposed to be in line. And let's just say you're supposed to pick up a winning lottery ticket. And you're supposed to be in line, but you're staying in the same spot. So let's just say, for example, and there are stories about this all over. And I use lottery as an example because it's actually a lot more easy it is way easier to win the lottery than you guys think. It's ridiculous. Why do you think people win 14 times in a row? Look up those stories. So once you understand that this world's not really real, it makes it a lot more easy to just manifestations to pop up to the Lord. So there's more situations of God being unpredictable, but this video is not to teach you about how to predict what God's doing. This video was going to help you predict God more. He can be predictable in a good way that seems like a bad way. He could be predictable in a good way that is a good way. He could be predictable in a bad way to someone who is bad, but he's still unpredictable. You can't predict God. So Abraham couldn't predict when his wife would have a child, but he knew she was having a child. It was last moment, but it's still, he got his legacy started even before that. So other examples, there's a whole other situations. For example, God getting mad at people, God being happy with people. If you want to write your example in the Bible, I'm going to start asking you guys to, if you know a story in the Bible that has God being completely unpredictable, you can put it in the bio, because he's not supposed to be predictable. Let me do this. Let me say it like this. If you were making an experience for your child, but they couldn't see you fully, or not, they could see you but not fully, would you make every day the same for them? If they asked for something and you were going to give it to them, and they knew you were going to give it to them, you want something for the deeds, for the stories. So you're going to make it interesting, even if it tortures the child a little bit. So, because when the child gets the reward, the child can say, oh, like for the people who say, oh, that was too easy for you. Well, look what the child went through before the child got the reward. So, for example, I know people who are also multimillionaires, so people who do really well, and those people, some people did not do anything for their money. They didn't win a scratch off. They have no interest. They didn't win $1 million from, and you only need 4 numbers to win. 4 or 5, and let's just say there's a secret divination. You can, never mind, it's through Jesus. Let's just say it's easier than you guys think. They're just numbers. And when you calm down over the numbers is when they come faster. You can literally see them in your sleep, in the lids of your eyes. You just look at them. It is or it isn't. That's it. So they're just numbers. I know other people who do very well, let's just say that, and there's some of them who have no story. No, it's just, they could be just, they just could pass as clones. Like, well, I do this, and the person has no backstory. They can't help anyone. They don't know how to help anyone. There's nothing interesting about them and how they got to where they're at. They just kind of accumulated it through either hard work or just through inheritance. You think anyone wants to hear about that? You think that person's going to be able to change someone's life, to move them closer to God? Let's just say a lot of these people who are born really wealthy, if their family didn't teach them how to move closer to God, they don't really have that connection unless they crave it. Which is a lot to say in a little short period of time in words, but some people are just there. And they're just like, they can't do anything to help anyone. I've actually seen certain multimillionaires. For example, I know a guy who's like, I think I want to put all this down so I can live a normal life, so I'm able to interact with people and help people, because he was just born into it. He's like, I don't know what it's like. Like, I can't help anyone. I haven't gone through any kind of trials. So your trials before you guys become multimillionaires too is because you're going to help other people as well. People are like, oh, it was so easy. You just want it. Like, it was so easy for you. No, you went through complete hell before you got there. And you can help other people get there too. Versus these multimillionaires who are that's why you see stories such as, oh, this person's living in a bus in the woods. It's because it sucks for them. It's just like they're there in life. It's like you don't know a life. You don't have 2 separate sides of your life. So that's why God's unpredictable, is because he's making your story. So just go with the flow, because when the story sucks, it gets better. I'm going to give you one more example. When you see a superhero in the movie, if the superhero is going to win the whole time, you wouldn't watch the movie, you wouldn't watch the sequel, you wouldn't watch anything. You wouldn't. You wouldn't watch the movie. You know how it goes. That's why, like, the superheroes such as Batman, right before they lose, they win all at once, and it's grand, and it's awesome, and it's major, and it's they do it with finesse. I'm gonna tell you a story. I played Skyrim way back then, and I like the challenge modes, and I played the challenge modes, but I found out how to do what they call God mode, which is kind of funny, ironic, and there was no ability at all to lose or anything to go downwards. I just won the game, and I was so bored, I quit the game. I think it was within that day. I'm like, oh. Now what? There's a difference. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. By the way, check out FloridaStowman.com. The website's popping. There's a whole bunch of new custom necklaces for people who want, or desire. I don't use the word want. The Bible says I shall not want. The new necklaces are popping. Soulmate necklace. Do you know what that does? Do you know how many people will proclaim to be your soulmate when you wear that necklace, walking up to you in public, like, wow, you are beautiful. And it's just like, okay. And then you look at, your whole life will change around you, because it changes your heart. And your heart, through Jesus, is what you radiate outwards. Financial abundance necklace, a money necklace. I might keep that one a secret as to how that's been going for people. Let's just say when people win their first, there's two things that happens when people win their first small win, which could be like $100,000, or let's just say $500,000. And yes, that's a small win compared to the rest of it, because if you see how high they get, then they take that win and they'll prove themselves. So they'll either save it and they'll prove good habits, or they'll lose it all. Let's just say the past couple of people who did really well from a win saved it, and they're living their same life, and they're living nice. So, like I said, this world's this world's an illusion. Once you realize that nothing is outside of you, everything's within you. Most importantly, God's love is within you. God is outside of you. So everything starts. That's why the Bible talks about the heart is the key to heaven. It's because once you change your heart, your whole world around you changes. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Invest in yourself with a custom necklace. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. God bless all of you. Make sure you pray to God and give him his glory after this video. Ciao!